Scott, thanks. She says that a soft landing is possible but not assured. And she defines a soft landing, continued disinflation along with a strong labor market. She sees the risk right now is definitively two-sided between tightening too much and tightening too little. And she spends a good amount of time talking about tightening too much. And she says she's watching whether what's happening with small business and the difficulty getting credit, along with what's happening in the housing sector, are warning signs of potential broader stress in the economy. She's watching for risks of renewed global economic shocks. She cites oil prices, geopolitical tensions, and European and Chinese economic slowdowns. Points out with many central banks tightening, each may, quote, need to do a little bit less if that's the case. A couple comments on the economy. She says global supply chains have largely recovered. Slowing rent she expects to feed into slowing housing inflation and bring down overall inflation over time, so she's kind of upbeat on that. Labor demand and supply, she says, coming into better balance. And she notes surveys of it being easier to hire and find new workers. And then she's encouraged by strong labor productivity. I wonder if that's a story we haven't talked enough about. The past 2 quarters have been pretty strong. If they're sustained, it's going to help. Scott, take a quick look at the probabilities here, which you see we're no longer talking about hike probabilities. All we're talking about now are cut probabilities, and they're pretty substantial. 35% for March, 68% for May, which is not that far away. I'm wondering if the data, Scott, has now given some of the doves on the committee the opportunity, maybe the courage, maybe the backing and the support to come out and talk and maybe give a more dovish outlook on policy now.
I feel like, Steve, we've definitely turned a corner on that front, and it's obvious from Ms. Cook's comments that she does nothing to upset the narrative that we've put forward for why we've had this rally in the first place, that the Fed is done. She basically sounds like she's saying I'm done, unless something tells me I need to do something else.
I think that's a good read, Scott. I think that she's, and I think what's really important about what you just said is the idea that they're not pushing back. We'll see. She's not the only one out there. She may have had a more dovish predilection before. But remember, Scott, it hasn't been really easy to discern who the hawks and the doves are on the committee during this time period when the Fed was doing those big 75 basis point hikes and trying to convince the market of higher for longer. It's just one inflation report. If we get another one, it's going to be harder to both hold back the dam, I think, of Fed officials who may want to cut, but also the market's pricing of it. So we'll have to listen to see if there's any pushback, and maybe we'll get some this afternoon.
Yeah, good stuff, Steve, as always. I appreciate it very much. That's Steve Liesman, our senior economics reporter.